standing with that blue ball that you've got. I don't have one, so I'm just going to demonstrate, but we'll start standing with the blue ball. Welcome to Pilates, everybody. You're going to start with the ball underneath the right ball of your foot. Yep. All right. So keep the heel down. Ball is underneath the right ball of the foot. You're just going to pivot on the ankle. Yep. So heel is down and you're pivoting on the heel. Just kind of getting a stretch on the front toes there. Yep. That's good, guys. This is just some trigger point work. It's just kind of loosening up the feet before we begin. We're going to pause with that ball over towards the pinky side part of the foot. You can lift up the heel, find your balance. You're going to roll that ball between the pinky and the back heel. Yeah. So just kind of rolling out those muscles on the pinky side part of the foot there. I am recording these. I'm going to have them on a little Facebook group called just Steph's Mat Pilates. So if you do want to find the recordings later, the group is called Steph's Mat Pilates. You should be able to find it.
Are you saying that?
M-A-T. Yes.
M-A-T. Steph Mat.
Steph's Mat Pilates.
Plural, steps.
With an S.
No apostrophe.
Steph's Mat.
With an apostrophe. Yes. You guys got it. All right, pausing with the ball towards the heel. You can put the toes down now on the mat so you have some balance, and you're going to pivot again just on that on the heel there. So the toes are down and you're just rolling that ball on the heel back and forth. Yeah, that looks good. Good job, guys. Go for a few more seconds here, and then if you roll it to the arch, you can do the same thing on that arch of that foot, really kind of getting the arch loosened up, either pivoting or making little circles. So you could draw little circles on the arch in one direction, or you can pivot side to side, whatever feels like you're kind of loosening up those muscles. And if you did some circles, make sure you reverse and get the other direction. Good job. All right. You're gonna roll that ball to the side and just press your foot down, kind of see how it feels now after you've rolled out. We're gonna go over to the other side now. So starting with the heel down and the ball is right underneath the ball of the foot. We're just gonna pivot on that heel, loosening up the ball of the foot there, the toe crease. Yeah, it looks good, guys. Got the heel down, so you have some balance here, but a little bit of instability. And then we'll pause with that ball at the pinky side part of the foot. You're going to roll it down to the heel and then back up to that pinky. Just kind of getting that outside part of the foot. This one's more of a balance challenge because you don't have one of the parts of the foot down. Looks good, guys. We're going to pause with that ball at the heel. Toes can come down on the mat. So toes down, heel up on the ball. Again, pivoting side to side, just kind of opening up that heel. Maybe you pause if there's a spot that feels like it needs a little bit more. You're in control of how much you push into the ball, releasing those muscles there. And then we'll bring it to the arch of the foot. So arch, you can either draw those little circles or you can pivot side to side, whatever feels better, just kind of loosening up those muscles in the feet. And if you did those circles, making sure you reverse the other direction. Inhaling and exhaling. Good job, guys. All right, you can press that ball off to the side, step both feet down, see how they feel. And then we'll step to the back of our mat, feet parallel, hip distance apart. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach up and over. Let your head hang heavy. You're going to walk yourself on out to a 4-point kneeling position. Press under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll do a cat-cow here. Inhale, Press your low back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, create that arch. Moving between flexion and extension, finding a nice stretch. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your mouth. And then pausing in a neutral spine. We're going to come all the way down to our backs now, so laying down on our backs. We're going to grab the bigger squishy ball. It'll go above the knees in between the thighs. All right, find that neutral spine, that little pocket of air underneath the low back, so you're in neutral. Keep the shoulders away from the ears, palms are just pressed down into the mat, fingertips nice and relaxed. We're gonna take the legs to tabletop, so imprint the spine now, find that imprinted, pressing that little pocket of air back down into the mat. We're gonna start with single leg toe taps, keeping that hold on the ball, right toe taps down and back up, left toe taps down and back up. Try to keep the opposite leg completely still, we're warming up the abs here. Yeah, it looks good. That ball is gonna keep you nice and slow and controlled because you don't wanna lose it here. And you should start to feel those low abs wake up. Good job, guys. Pausing with both legs at tabletop. Imprint that spine again. Make sure the low back is pressing down. We're gonna do double toe taps, both down and back up. You don't need to get all the way down to the mat. You wanna find a challenge spot where you start to feel those abs shake, but you still wanna keep that spine nice and imprinted down onto the mat. Couple more like this, warming up those low abs. On this next one, we're gonna pause with both feet flat on the mat now. You still got that gentle squeeze in on the ball. We're gonna move into our bridging. So if you wanna scoot your glutes in a little closer to the heels, you can. You've got that little pocket of air underneath the low back. Inhale, exhale, slowly tilt the pelvis forward, scooping up, lifting up the hips up into our bridge. Hips come up, inhale, exhale, scoop one bone at a time, all the way back down. Continue with your breath, finding that scoop each direction, keeping that squeeze in on the ball. All four corners of the feet are evenly pressed into the mat. There's no strain in the neck, the face, the shoulders. We're warming up our glutes now. Really find the glute muscles when you get to the top. Press the kneecaps away from you, almost feeling it in the hamstrings as well. And on this next one, we're gonna scoop up and hold. Holding up, you're gonna squeeze in and out on that ball. Keeping the hips lifted. Breathing through it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the squeeze in on the ball. Squeeze the glutes. Stay up. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, scoop all the way on down. All right, we're gonna move on to a hinge bridge. So inhale, exhale. Instead of scooping, just press those hips on up, squeezing the glutes, inhaling and exhaling to press back down. Continue with your breath, really finding the glute muscles up at the top. Almost squeezing the hips in towards the heels, really finding that work in the hamstrings. Good job, guys. On this next one, we're gonna hinge up and fold. Lift the right heel, set it down. Lift the left heel, set it down. Keeping the hips lifted. We're just lifting one heel at a time. We worked our feet earlier. Should be seeing how your feet feel now as we do this. Lifting those heels one at a time. Even yourself out. Inhale, exhale, hinge back down. So remove the ball, take the legs up to 90, get a little hamstring stretch. Point and flex the toes. Maybe roll your ankles one direction. And then the other direction. Good job. All right, ball's gonna go in between the ankles. take the legs back to tabletop. Imprint the spine or have a neutral spine. You don't want to be arching the back. If you're arching the back, you can always put the hands underneath those hips to keep that back imprinted. We're going to just shoot the legs to 45, then back to tabletop. So you should really be feeling those abs set in. You're keeping that gentle squeeze in on the ball, activating the inner thighs as well. And again, if you're starting to arch that back, take the legs a little higher. The lower you go, the more work you get on the abs there, but you don't want to take the expense of that low back. On this next one, we pause at 45. Lift up to 90, down to 45. Lift up to 90, down to 45. Nice and slow both ways, really feeling those low abs. Try to keep the legs straight here. Finding length with the legs as you press the legs away. Good job, guys. We have a couple more like this. On this next one, we're going to add some movement here. So you're going to take the legs down to 45, bend the knees to tabletop, up to 90, down to 45, tabletop, 90. So it's kind of like a swimming frog movement. You can have the feet in parallel or in a Pilates V, whatever feels better for you. We're going to reverse here in a second, down to 45, up to 90, bend to tabletop, 45, 90, tabletop. Reversing the direction. Keep that squeeze in the volley. Those inner thighs should be starting to burn. Almost done here. We have one more in this direction. We're going to pause up at 90, hold, and then remove that ball. Set the feet down. You can bring your knees into your chest or your knees one direction, and then the other direction. All right, you can set the ball to the side. You can do a little roll up or press yourself up to seated. And then we're coming back into that 4-point kneeling position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You're going to tuck the toes, hike the hips up to down dog, and get a nice stretch here. Biceps frame the ears. You can pedal the legs out, getting a nice stretch on the back of the calves. And then walking your feet in towards your hands, shifting weight into your feet. Inhale, exhale, slowly roll on up, one bone at a time. Good job, guys. All right, we're going to grab that ball. A little bit of balance work here. We warmed up those feet earlier, so we'll see how it feels. You're going to start with the ball in your hands. We're going to shift over to the left foot, lifting up that right foot. Finding your balance. You can be 1 inch off the mat, you can be up to 90, whatever feels best for you. We're going to hold on this side. Focus on something not moving in front of you. Engage your core. Holding strong. We're going to add little pulses in on the ball. Squeeze in on the ball. Squeeze and release. Holding your balance. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze in on the ball and hold. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Shake it out. Over to that other side. Right foot down. Finding your balance on that right foot. Lifting up the left foot. And you can be up to 90 or just barely off the mat, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Concentrate. Use your breath. We're going to add that squeeze and release of the ball. Breathing through this. Squeeze and release for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that ball in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Shake it out. All right. We're going to move into a leaning start here. So ball is going to go left hand, and then you're going to we'll take the ball into both hands, And then we're gonna come up over to the whatever side you'd like to go here, lifting up a leg, finding the leaning star. Yep, you guys got it. Use your concentration. You don't have to be totally leaned over. We're gonna take the ball, we're gonna pass it back and forth. Opening up into that star, returning the ball, finding your balance. You guys got it. Use your core, breathing through it. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the ball wherever you're at. Pulses with the leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, shake it out. All right. Taking that ball up overhead, we're going to the other side here. Find your balance first. Leaning star. And when you're ready, we'll start with those ball passes. You're opening up, returning that ball to start. Yeah, breathe through it. You can always just stick with the lean if that's enough for you today. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the ball, little pulses up with the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it down, shake it out. Good job, guys. All right. You may have the option to put the ball underneath the heels of the feet. You can always not do it with the ball if you'd like. We're going to add some squats. So the ball is going to go underneath the heels, and you're going to take the feet together. Again, if this doesn't feel stable for you, you can always just do it without the ball. Otherwise, ball is just right underneath those heels. Yeah. We're starting with some squats. So you're going to sit on down, nice and slow, and come back up, keeping that balance on the ball. Yeah. Arms are coming out to a T as we squat. We're going to add some arm movements on. Nice and slow and controlled. Use your core. Breathing through this. On this next one, we're going to hold down. 1 inch up, 1 inch down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand it up for a second, shake it out. Got 2 more sets here. On this one, we're going to start with arms at a T. As you squat, arms go overhead. Coming back up, arms to a T. Yeah. Breathing through this. Opening up. Sitting on down and standing on up. Feeling the legs and the glutes here. Balancing on that ball. On this next one, we hold down. Little pulses up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. We only got 1 more. Almost done here. We're going to start. Arms are going to come like this. As you squat, you're going to serve a platter. Return to start. Yep. Breathing through. Use your core. Find the glutes. Inhaling and exhaling. On this next one, we're going to hold down. Holding down, you're going to open and close the tray for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, step it off, take an inhale, and an exhale, shake it out. Let's get a stretch here at the bottom. So setting the ball off to the side. Standing at the back of your mat. We'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Come to a seated position. We're coming all the way back down on our back so you can find a nice figure 4 stretch. Taking one leg, crossing it over the other leg. Getting that nice stretch. Maybe you rock side to side if that feels good, really feeling that glute. And we'll switch and get the other side. Coming back up, we're gonna move to a 4-point kneeling position. We're gonna grab the ball. You can always do this without the ball if you'd like. Ball's gonna go behind the right knee. We'll be down in a 4-point kneeling position. We're gonna do some bird dog, more balance challenge here today. So when you're ready, you're gonna lift up that right knee and hold. Find your balance here. When you're ready, you're gonna lift up the left arm, opposite leg. We're just holding in that bird dog. Find your balance, breathe through it. We're gonna add on knee to elbow. It's like a little crunch. Extending back out, keeping your balance. Breathing through this. Good job, guys. Looks good. We're gonna hold out in that bird dog. We're gonna open to the side and back in. Still have that squeeze in on the ball. Almost done. Breathe through it. One last time. Holding that bird dog. Left arm up, right knee up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Press on back. Child's pose. Roll out the wrists if you need. All right, we're going over to the other side. So ball behind the left knee. Get yourself set up. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, starting by just lifting up that left knee and holding. Find your balance before you lift up the right hand. When you're ready, lifting up that right hand, finding your bird dog here. We're gonna hold here. Breathe through it. I'm gonna add the movement, knee to elbow. Yep, looks good. Keep the neutral back here. Hips are squared off. Pressing evenly into the fingertips. On this next one, we hold out. We're gonna open out to the side and back in. Almost done here. Breathing through. And then holding that bird dog strong. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee down. Child's pose, hips over heels. Roll out the wrists if you need. Good job, guys. All right. Coming back to our backs. The ball is going to go underneath that right ankle. Again, you can do this without the ball if you'd like. Ball is underneath the right ankle, legs are straight, and we're laying all the way down. We're going to take the left leg up to 90. Point the toe, we're going to draw little circles on the ceiling. You're going to get feedback if that right leg is moving. Try to keep the right leg still. Little plate size circles for 3, 2, 1. Reverse those circles, other direction. So instead of rolling it from the ankle, try to find it from the hip here. Leg is straight, the hip is drawing these circles for 3, 2, 1. Bring that left knee into your chest, give a little tug. Then we'll switch and get the other side, rolling that ball over to the left ankle, right leg is straight. When you're ready, bringing that right leg up to 90. Keep the left foot still. We're drawing little circles on the ceiling. Plate size circles. Keep the pelvis stable. You're not rocking side to side for 3, 2, 1. Reverse those circles, other direction. Breathe through it. Try to keep the legs straight for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee to the chest. Give a little tug. And then bring that ball in. You're going to put feet flat on the mat, lift up the hips. The ball's going to go underneath your sacrum now like a little bunny tail. Find your balance here. When you're ready, you're going to lift the legs up to tabletop and then up to 90, balancing on that ball. Hands can go to the mat or out to a T if that gives you a little bit more help with the balance. We're gonna draw those plate-sized circles in one direction again, trying to keep stable on that ball. Yep, legs are squeezed together, so now both legs are drawing those plate-sized circles. It's like our corkscrew here. And then reverse those circles other direction. Keep your balance on the ball. Engage your core. Breathing in and breathing out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet can come down to the mat. Lift up that ball. And get a little stretch. Maybe rock the knee side to side here. You can take the arms out wide to a T. Let your knees sway one direction. Your gaze goes the other way. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to switch. Feeling that nice rotation of the spine. Letting that chest open up. Pausing back at center, inhale. Exhale, roll yourself up to seated or press yourself up to seated. We're gonna move into some planks. Option to use the ball, you don't need to use the ball. If you wanna use it, it's gonna go in between the knees today. So ball goes in between the knees. You have options for your planking. You can do a straight arm plank, forearm plank, kneeling plank, or regular plank. When you're ready, you're gonna press yourself out to that plank and hold. First one, we're just gonna static hold. Find your form, gaze at your fingertips, wrists under shoulders, squeeze the glutes, heels press away. We are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, child's pose. We're gonna add some things on. You can always just stick with that static hold plank. When you're ready, back to 4-point kneeling, press yourself on out. You're gonna tap the right knee down and back up, left knee down and back up. With this, you might not get all the way down to the mat. Try to keep that ball in the knees. Yep, hips stay nice and still. Breathe through it. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, child's pose. All right, we got one more here. When you're ready, pressing yourself on out to that plank again and holding. You've got that squeeze on the ball. Right heel is gonna come down and back up, left heel down and back up. Trying to keep that squeeze on the ball. You're kind of pedaling out the heels now. Yep. We are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Child's pose, reach those arms, roll out the wrists if you need. We'll set the ball off to the side for a second. We're gonna move into a side plank. So options for your side plank, you can keep that bottom knee down if you'd like this. Or you can extend both legs out when you're ready. So find that side plank. It can be a forearm if that feels better for you. Yeah, breathe through. Adding little hip dips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand down, switching right to the other side, then we'll get a stretch. Find that side plank first. Little hip dips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Child's pose. Take the hands over to the right side. Get a nice stretch on the left side of the body. Back to center, over to the left. Getting a nice stretch on the right side of your body. Back to center, grab that ball, it's coming into your hands. We're gonna come prone all the way down onto our bellies. All right, Press the pubic bone down, feel like the belly button can lift up off. Activate the legs, feel like they're pressing up off of the mat. Forehead is just an inch or two off of the mat. We're gonna pass the ball here. So you're gonna come up a bit, ball is gonna come to your back and then back around. Again, this is too much, you can just hold up. We're passing the ball in one direction here. Feel like the legs are active, belly button lifting. We're passing the ball for 3, 2, 1, reversing that pass. Reverse it, hold up, feel those back muscles. If there's any strain in the low back, widen the legs. Circling the ball. We are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, press on back, child's pose. We'll move into our swan, so coming back down onto our belly. Hands go underneath the shoulders. Feel like the legs are active. You're gonna inhale, gaze comes up, shoulders roll down. Exhale, gaze comes down. Yep. Keep the belly button lifted, rib cage closed. Shoulders roll down. On this next one, hold up. If it's available, lift up those legs off the mat. Lift the hands and hold. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press on back. Child's pose. Good job, guys. Feel that stretch on the back. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to move into some side lying leg work. So laying down on your side, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. You can be laid all the way down, up on the elbow or up on the forearm. We're going to start with just a lift and lower of that top leg. Keep the hips stacked here. Bottom leg can be straight or bent. Use your core to keep your balance. Place the leg both directions, not letting it flop down. Breathing through this. On this next one, we hold up, little pulses up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, lifting that leg hip height, point the toe forward, flex the foot back, keeping that leg hip height. Use your core to not rock forward and backward. Cinch in through the waistline. Pausing at center, we're going to add a hot potato. Toes go down in front, tap twice. Heel comes back behind, tap twice. Toes to the front, tap twice. Heels come back. It's almost like you're drawing a little rainbow here. Feel the glutes, keep the hips stacked. Breathing through this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Gonna do our clam here, opening and closing. Heels stay together. Heels can stay on the mat or you can do an elevated clam either way. Breathing through. Find the glute muscles here. We are almost done on this side. On this next one, we hold up. Hold the arm up, holding clam. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Look at that other side, flipping over. And then we'll finish with some stretches at the end here. We're starting with that lifted lower of the top leg. Try not to rock forward and backward. Control the leg here, nice and slow. Feeling the glute. Keep the ribcage closed, core nice and engaged. On this next one, holding up, little pulses up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Lifting that leg hip height. We're going to point forward, flex back. Feeling that flexion and extension of the ankle. Keeping the leg hip height. Use your core. Pausing at center, that hot potato, toes tap, heels tap, drawing that rainbow, feeling that in the glute, keep the hips stacked. Breathe through it, we have a couple more like this. Last one. And we bend those knees in for the clam, heels can either stay down or come up. Opening and closing. Keep the hips stacked, really feeling that in the glute. On this next one, holding open in the clam, arm comes up, find your balance. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Press yourself on up to seated. We're going to do a mermaid here and get some stretches. So, options, you can find that Z-sit or crisscross, whatever feels better for you. You're in a Z-sit, one hand comes to the ankle, other arm out to a T. You come up and over towards that ankle. Getting that nice side stretch here. Inhaling back to center. Keep the shoulders out of the ears. Breathing in, breathing out. If it feels okay on this next one, you come up and over, maybe find some rotation, keeping the shoulders out of the ears. And then carefully inhaling, exhaling, finding the little counter stretch. The opposite way. You're in that Z-sit, we're just gonna turn. Back leg goes back behind. Finding a nice kind of like pigeon stretch. You can forward fold over if that feels okay. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. And then pressing yourself on up, coming back to that Z-sit. We'll switch the legs, get the other side. One hand to the ankle. We're gonna come up and over, getting that nice side stretch here towards that ankle. Breathing in, breathing out. On this next one, if it feels okay, coming up and over, getting that rotation. And then coming back to center, inhaling and exhaling, finding that counter stretch. And then if you're in that Z-sit, just switching that position, finding a nice pigeon stretch if you forward fold over. Bringing yourself back up to seated. Come to a seated position, legs straight out in front of you. Roll your shoulder blades down, stacked up nice and tall. Arms are going to come out to a T, palms face down. Exhale, pulse, pulse to the right. Center, pulse, pulse to the left. Center. Try to keep the bottom half of your body still like it's in quicksand. You're not rocking side to side. Gaze goes with that back hand. Feel like it's an up and over, really finding some length. If this is going well and you want to add on, as you come to one side, pinky finger, pinky toe, saw, finding some flexion. Carefully coming up before you get the other side. So you find that rotation first, then the soft. Keep the rib cage nice and closed. And then pausing back at center. You're gonna butterfly the knees if that feels okay for the hips. We'll do a forward fold over. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back on up. You're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach back behind you if that feels okay. A little gentle back bend. Hands can come down to the mat if that feels okay. Getting another stretch. Maybe you roll your neck side to side. Pausing back at center. Come stacked up nice and tall. We're gonna finish laying all the way on down. Reach those legs away from you. Reach the arms away from you. Getting a big stretch. Feeling that opposition as the fingers reach and the toes reach. Maybe you take your hands together, taking them over to the right side, getting a stretch. Hands clasped together back to center, over to the left side, getting that stretch on the shoulders. Back to center, reach those fingertips, reach the toes. Away in opposition. We're gonna come bend into the knees, feet flat on the mat. Bring the right knee into the chest. We're gonna extend that right leg out and back down, just getting a nice stretch here. Maybe you flex down and point up, or the opposite way, whatever feels better for you, getting some stretch on the ankles here. Bringing that leg back down, taking that left leg to table up to 90, getting that nice stretch, reaching behind the thigh. Maybe you point and flex, whatever feels best for you. Taking that leg back down to the mat, both legs out straight, arms open, palms up. Take some big breaths here. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Inhaling, feeling that rib cage expand. Exhaling, knitting the rib cage together, belly button to spine. One more big breath in through your nose. One more powerful exhale. And you guys are all set. Thank you guys so much. Hope you have a great weekend.